Hello World of Tank Blitzers, I'm Dr. Jackson Blitz, and in today's video I will show you some tips and tricks on how to improve your gameplay in the new realistic battle mode that Wargaming has put in the game once again. So I prepared 3 games that I've played today, and I will show you the replays and comment what I did and why I did it, and also how you can abuse the mechanics to come out on top. Before we jump into the gameplay, however, if you like this kind of content, please like, share and subscribe, and especially comment under my videos what kind of content you would like me to cover in the future. So, realistic battles, what is it all about? As you can see here, it says minimalistic battle interface. That means if an enemy tank is spotted from one of your teammates, or if you spot an enemy tank, it will not appear on the minimap. Also, fair view range is kind of a misstatement here. You have basically an infinite view range. If there is a possibility or if there is a line of sight between you and an enemy tank, you will be able to spot it. There are no push mechanics, no camo ratings whatsoever, but you have to be really careful. If you can see an enemy tank, he can see you as well. Also, there is no indication when you are spotted, so you have no light bulb after 3 seconds. So if you drive out in the open and you think they're safe, it's very possible that you are spotted and you get yeeted back into the garage. The last thing is you have no armor highlighting. That simply means if you go into your sniper mode and you aim at an enemy tank, you will not see any shades of red as an indicator on how strong its armor is. So you really should know your weak points, your lower plates, your cupolars that you can shoot to damage an enemy tank. An interesting side note here is, in realistic battle, every shell does its average damage, except for HE shells. So if you have 350 alpha damage, every shot of your standard ammo will do 350 alpha damage. That can be quite interesting, because if an enemy tank has 350 HP, and you have 350 alpha, you know it's a one-shot for you, a definite one-shot. The mode also has some more perks and features, but I will go over them in the replays that I'm going to show you. And I'm also explaining why I do certain things and what tricks and tips I can give you so that you come out with a win. Let me get to the replay section. It's here. It's on False Creek. I'm playing the WT auf Panzer IV. And in this replay I want to highlight some different things. Let's put this away as well. So, tank destroyers usually in this game mode have a little bit of a difficult life because there are no camo ratings, so you have to play a little bit differently. This is what I'm trying to do here. And first of all, yeah, I don't really know what that E100 is doing. Like, thank you very much. So what I'm trying to do here is, first of all, I want to pause this here and go into the free camera again so that I can show you something, and that is to look for bushes or destroyed objects. So I can keep going. So for example, if one of the trees over there would be knocked over, I would know for a fact that an enemy tank would be there. So if you are going into a normal game as well, that is something that I can definitely recommend, because you sometimes see bushes and trees getting knocked over. And to be honest, it's a little bit like cheating, because you know something that you should not be able to know. But in this game mode especially, it can give you some valuable information on where the enemy tanks are. So what I'm trying here is, I'm marking the object 704, which means I'm always keeping my crosshair on it so that my team knows where he is, and this is why he pays, because he didn't pay attention and he gets yeeted back into the garage with an HE shell. I tried to use HE here because I wasn't sure, like I was not gonna get the bounce, I was just trying to secure the kill. So right now I know the email is still there, so I'm trying to keep him spotted as well. So I mark him constantly with my crosshair, so that my teammates know where he is. I see that he's crossing there, so he's going into C, and I'm trying to get some shots on him here. I'm loading the HE, but it's not really working. But I see the IS-4, and the IS-4 makes a mistake here because he is tunnel visioning he did not see me at all because he was just focusing on the mouse. And the reason is the Emil did not mark me. So the IS-4, he's in a very bad position right now. You saw I did put in 2 shots on him. And what I'm doing now is, again, I'm marking the enemy so that my teammates know where the Emil is. So even if you are behind cover, you can mark enemy tanks so that your teammates know what is happening. This is what I'm trying to do. So I know there's the Jägeru, I get some shots into him. And what I'm trying to do here again is using the terrain. This is something I want to highlight as well exactly at this point. Because as you can see, I'm getting the free cam again. So you can look around corners in this mode very, very well. So I'm hugging this rock here, so I can take a look around the corner, but the enemy tanks cannot see me. So I know exactly what they are aiming at, but they don't know where I am because I'm that close to the rock. They can't use their camera to see me. So I can get some sneaky shots in here, and sadly I should have switched to the heat here, to be honest. That was my mistake. Still though, I'm trying to play careful. The Jägeru decides, yeah, full YOLO mode. That was just a very bad play of him. So he goes in, and I know I can easily save the kill here. And I'm again marking the IS-7. I'm just marking him to make sure all of my teammates know where he is. And we get 1 shot in, and then the T-57 picks up the kill. So you see we're on 4.3k damage, again in a tier 9 and a tier 10 match. Especially in a lightly armored TD, you saw I was aggressive but not overly aggressive. I used the terrain, and sadly this one misses. This is just, yeah, that was my mistake, to be honest. That was poor aim, but we see I'm trying to again mark the STB1 here, but the E100 gets the kill. So again, what do I want to highlight about this replay? So you can use the terrain, and you should use the terrain. Like you saw, I hugged this rock so that I could look around at the enemy tanks if they are aiming at me or not, but they could not see me from their position. Also, constantly marking enemy tanks so that your allies know where they are and what's going on. A last thing that you saw me do was, okay, in the WT you have amazing penetration. Still though, I aimed for known weak spots. When I had the sights of enemy heavy tanks, I aimed at them. Otherwise I aimed at lower plates, which allowed me to damage enemy tanks reliably. The last replay I want to show to you today is with the 121B, and the 121B has a really solid upper plate armor. This is why it's perfect for realistic mode, because a lot of people use their auto aim, which means they will aim actually at your upper plate if they are directly in front of you. And that means in tanks like the 121B or the Object 140, you can get a lot of troll bounces. Also, what I'm doing here again is trying to get a safe position from which I can spot but retreat if necessary. On Naval Frontier, this is a standard position. What you can see soon is I'm seeing an enemy tank is crossing. I'm sadly not able to perma spot him or perma mark him. And I'm also seeing there is a tank, which you can see now. This is a little thing that I want to highlight as well, because it's, like I said before, if you see falling trees or destroyed objects, it's basically cheating. This is another instant in realistic battles that is basically cheating, because what you saw right now is, even though the enemy tank was behind cover, my reticule, I have the automatic zoom enabled, and my reticule zoomed in, which means it zoomed in on the enemy tank. So I know for a fact that even though this object 268, I think it is behind that cover and no one can see him, because my reticule zoomed in, I know for a fact he is there. And that is basically cheating, to be honest. However, it's a trick that is in the game and you should definitely use it, because like in a few more moments you will see it again. So I'm trying to see where he is. So I'm trying to use my reticule to go over certain different positions. So I see, okay, he's not there. There he is again. Sadly, he shoots me and I miss him. But I know my Emil-2 is not marking anything, so I can go in because that object is most likely very, very isolated. The Emil goes right, so I go left. He took a shot there, okay, so we can go in. And I'm aiming for track shots here, side shots, popping the adrenaline just to make sure that we can kill him, tracking him once. He repairs, but he is done for. The AMX picks up the kill. So I'm trying to see now what is happening. I know that there are some heavy tanks even though they are not marked, so I will mark them for the team. The FV is marked. I'm going for an HE here, sadly I miss. And also this FV will not be very healthy, he's dead. So the next thing is the Batchat, and now soon you can see what I meant with the troll armor. So there's one bounce that I get from the Batchat. I take one shot. There's another bounce that I get, and I come out on top. The next thing I want to highlight is right here. If you don't know where the weak spots are, you should aim for cupolas or lower plates. So if you're new into the game, you don't have a lot of knowledge of specific weak spots, the cupola or the lower plates are spots that you can always shoot at. The E75 has got a nice gold bot, and to be honest, I would have been able to penetrate his cupola with APCR as well, but I was just securing the kill here. Sadly, we take a shot from the Chieftain. I will say right now we do not come out with a win here, which is a little bit sad because it's 4 on 3. But I don't know why we didn't win this. I'm really a little bit worried right now because I do not know where the IS-7 is, because my teammates are not marking the enemy tanks. So I'm not really sure there he is, and then we're trying to go in. As I said again, my teammates are not marking the enemy tanks, which means I do not know where they are. So if you have a line of sight, or you don't even have the line of sight, you can even do it from behind cover. So that Sheridan missile could really spot the whole enemy tank. And yeah, that shot, to be honest, it's a weird miss. I don't know why. Again, I'm aiming for track shots. Maybe I should have backed up here. I get one shot more in, and the Chieftain killed him. So I did 4.6k damage. Yeah, if that is not enough to carry your team, I don't know what is. What do I want to highlight about this replay again? So as you saw in the beginning, I took a spotting position, tried to mark enemy tanks, and then what you also saw is basically cheating, because I saw that my reticule or my crosshair auto focused in, and that means that the enemy tank was exactly at that spot behind the cover, even though I could not see him. Also, you saw that on my upper plate it's very troll, and if someone aims at you with auto aim, you can get a lot of bounces in the right tanks. So this is all the things I want to highlight to you today with the replays. So in the end, what tips can I really give you for realistic battle mode? First of all, the most important thing is in the beginning you should spot from a position where you can quickly retreat, but also mark enemies if they are crossing in front of you, because as soon as you mark them, your teammates will see them on their radar. Secondly, use the terrain to your advantage, as you saw me do in the replay with the WT. I hugged the rock so I could look around the corner with my camera, but the enemy tanks couldn't actually see what I was doing. Then please do not tunnel vision. In realistic mode, as enemy tanks are not spotted, it is really easy to get flanked from the side because you just didn't pay attention, especially if you tunnel vision or if you are in sniper mode too much. You should know where you can take your shots, so especially aim for lower plates and cupolas, because these are usually weak spots. If you are not sure if you can penetrate something from the side and from the rear, that is always a better option. And the last thing is, look out for falling trees or objects that are destroyed, so use your camera to get a look on the wider map. in the beginning of the match especially, so that you can get some information on where the enemy tanks are going. So that was it so far from me. I hope you enjoyed the video and you can use these tips and tricks and abuse the game mechanics to your advantage so that you can come out on top in the realistic battles. That was it so far from me. I hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one and goodbye.